Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of one of the leaders of the team, with when he's around and when he's not. So I guess it came, pretty naturally. It's not too demanding, I just got to just take over Vanya's duties when he's not there, and that's just making sure we're ready to go and, leading the huddles. So. Yeah, I mean, I just try to lead by example. Early on, when we first got here, one of the guys who I'm pretty adjusted to European lifestyle and living in new places. So some of the guys who they're newer to this way of living have reached out to them, and my wife and their wives have been in contact. So just little things like that, not only on the court, go a long way. Starting off when I was younger, I honestly didn't play a lot of basketball. I played a lot of soccer, and then I started hitting growth spurts, and was outgrowing my shoes, outgrowing my knees, and kind of had to just figure things out. There was a time where I was short and fast, and then just started getting really tall. I had to find something else. Tried a lot of different sports. It's kind of a Michael Jordan type of story. In middle school, I got cut, didn't make the first team, and just kind of got motivated to get better so that I could play alongside of my friends. And then from middle school on to high school, just kept getting taller, kept getting better, and growing into my body. And it wasn't until about a sophomore or so, or junior year of high school, when I started getting some looks from colleges. Came down to going to Brigham Young, which happened to be right across the street from my high school, so it was easy. I was able to stay home and help my mom out, be around family and everything. So, and then just continue to grow, continue to get better every year. I took a lot of pride in that, still do to this day. And then going through college, just tried to continue to get better. Just tried to, that's when I began to realize that I could do this professionally and put even more time into it and effort. Then didn't get drafted, but played a little over 2 years in the NBA. I started off with the Clippers, went to 76ers, Brooklyn Nets, and then when they released me, I spent my first year in France, and then been over here ever since. Just kept the same mindset, just tried to get better every year and develop. And in early ages of my career in Europe, it kind of took a lot of maturing and growing up to help my game develop. You're not just trying to have more energy or be more athletic than everyone. You got to think the game through. And the game over here in Europe is, you hear people say all the time, it's more like chess and less like checkers. So once I started to figure that out, the game became, a little easier for me. And I've had great coaches along the way who I've, always learned a little bit from, and also great mentors, older players and stuff who've always taught me how to be a good teammate and, helped me develop into the basketball player who I am today. So those little things along the way is kind of stuff that I hold on to, and I just try to help out, younger players as people were helping me out. All the veterans, all the experienced guys were always great to me. So it's just kind of, you just got to pay it forward as you go on. Yeah, I mean, that was at the height of Jimmer mania is what they called it, and we had a great team. It wasn't as well as he was playing and a great of a player he was. We were ranked, we were beating really good teams. And he continued to do his thing through that, and with all the pressure and everything that he was getting. But even just traveling and stuff and being around him there was a lot of media attention, a lot of fan base everywhere we went. Home games, road games, he was selling out arenas, so it was a fun time to be alive. Yeah, I mean, even before that, I started off with the Clippers, so this was the height of Lob City. So, there's Blake Griffin, Chris Paul, Antoine Jameson was there at the time, DeAndre Jordan, and these were all great vets. They were all great to me. Even though I was there for a short time, I learned a lot from them. And but that was kind of similar to the Jimmer situation. Everywhere we went, fans were trying to get pictures and things like that. And then to go from something like that to Philly, where it was kind of the process area, what they called it, was, but it was, people can, I didn't look at it as anything, negative at the time. I was just trying to find my way and get better every day. I knew my role. I knew I was fighting for that 14th, 15th man spot every day. So every day was a tryout. But going through that has kind of helped that mindset be instilled with me today. So I try to keep that fight to want and need to be on a team, and is something that sticks with me. There was a guy, his name is Nick Cantor-Medley. I played with him in Monaco. He was one of the first guys to kind of take me under his wing and show me the ropes of on and off the court, financials, things like that. And he connected me with my agent that I'm with today, and the rest has been history. Each team I've been on, moving from there to places like Zalgiris. We had Paulius Jankunis, who's a very decorated EuroLeague player, and who's the GM now, but he's one of the guys who also led by example and, showed us the right way, as young players. So early on, those were two guys I would probably say helped the most. Playing here on the road I'm one of those players, I thrive off the energy that's in the gym, and I enjoy playing against, sellouts and hostile arenas, and that's exactly what you get every time you play here. If you're a basketball player or a basketball fan, this is, what every arena strives to be like, is how it is here. So to be able to have that behind me now instead of in front of me is definitely something that I can feed off energy-wise, and I'm very excited to be a part of. Most of the coaches I've had so far has, tried to learn from Obradović, has been to his clinics or practices, or tried to take something from him. So to be able to go straight to the source like I have now, to be able to learn and hear things from him is definitely something that's been eye-opening so far. And I'm a student of the game still to this day, so it's been great, and hopefully I can continue to learn and become a better player. And the great thing about him is, you mentioned the 9 titles, EuroLeague titles. Where he's just as hungry as we are, as striving to get that 10th. So that's something that we always shoot for. I spend a lot of time on recovery and stuff. That's one thing that's kind of helped me, throughout the years, is staying healthy and, being strong and recovering after, especially now with the double weeks and things like that. So I spend a lot of time with that, but mostly is family time, when we finish practice, I like to spend time with the kids, and they're in activities and sports and things like that. So I try to attend as many of those as I can, especially when we're home, because we play a lot on the road, and you miss a lot of those things. So any chance I get to spend time with them, I do. Yeah, so I have some friends who play in the NFL. I have obviously friends who still play in the NBA and things like that, and even some of my friends who are on EuroLeague teams, I always catch up with their games when I can, when it's not only when we're preparing to play them, but after our games and things like that. So I kind of bounce around between different leagues and different things, but majority of the reason is to just check up on my close relationships. Yeah, we've all loved it so far, and we've only had just little bits and pieces of what it is to play here, So just from the initial day, from the symphony that we had when we were greeted and presented, it was an incredible event, and that was still only a piece of it. Our preseason tournament that we've played in here, the fairground. Yeah, at the fairgrounds. Yeah, that was only a partial amount, and still that's incredible. It's you get the chills, you get the experience a little bit of what we're going to have. So I think we're all very eager to be able to experience everything, and honestly, it'll be an adjustment for all of us, but the majority of us, like I said earlier, we're players who feed off that type of energy, and especially the young guys and new guys coming in from the NBA or different teams, first time overseas and stuff. They're honestly lucky and spoiled to be able to experience this so early. So hopefully it's something that they always remember and cherish like I will. The Rambo story came from, you know, in Barcelona, we had an equipment manager. His name was Mickey Font, and it was preseason games, and we were battling against, I think it was Badalona, and I was getting in fights with everyone, ended up fouling out, had blood dripping from my eye, elbow was bleeding, and wanted to fight everyone in a preseason game. So he said, man, you're like Rambo out there. And ever since then, it stuck. So it's just kind of the, you know, my MO, alter ego. I kind of tap into that going into games now is, you know, got to go out there and be ready for the war and fight. So that's been a nickname that's been sticking with me so far, and everywhere I've gone, people have called me that. So.